A warm welcome back, everyone. If you're putting together a fire-focused build in Fate Keeper, there's one weapon you should definitely keep on your radar: the Burning Axe. This rare weapon isn't just about boosting your fire damage, it also brings some fun environmental interactions to the table. When used around oil patches and other flammable surfaces, it can turn the battlefield into a blazing hazard for your enemies, making every fight feel a little more explosive. In this guide, we're tracking down exactly where to find the Burning Axe and what makes it such a valuable pickup for fire-based characters. Whether you're looking to maximize your damage output or simply enjoy setting everything around you on fire, this weapon is well worth the effort. So if you're ready to add one of the coolest fire weapons in Fate Keeper to your arsenal, let's jump right in and find out how to get the Burning Axe.
A very small portion of the audience is subscribed to the channel.
If you enjoy these types of lists,
don't forget to subscribe if you like these types of videos.
Enjoy watching.
Thanks.
When it comes to building Daffodil, the first thing that makes her stand out is how unique she feels compared to the rest of the roster. As the only Chaos character available during the launch period of Neverness To Everness, she immediately became one of the most sought-after characters in the game. What makes her so special is her ability to create powerful elemental reactions that other characters simply cannot access. If you enjoy teams that rely on clever reaction chains instead of just raw damage numbers, Daffodil is definitely a character worth investing in. The best Daffodil builds focus on maximizing her Chaos interactions and helping her trigger as many elemental reactions as possible. With the right arc setup, she can actually gain additional combat benefits whenever she activates certain reactions, turning her into much more than just a support unit. On top of that, her liquid-based abilities are incredibly effective at breaking enemy defenses. Shields, protective barriers, and heavily fortified opponents become much easier to deal with when Daffodil is on the field, allowing the rest of your team to capitalize on those openings and deal significantly more damage. What really makes Daffodil shine though is how flexible she is in reaction-focused team compositions. She fits naturally alongside characters that constantly apply different elements, creating opportunities for powerful combos throughout a fight. Whether you're facing difficult bosses with strong defensive mechanics or simply looking to build a team around elemental reactions, Daffodil brings a ton of value to the table. With the right build, she can turn even the toughest encounters into much more manageable battles while helping your entire team perform at a higher level. Daffodil's kit revolves around dealing Chaos damage while constantly pressuring enemy defenses, and it all starts with her basic attack, Still Waters. She attacks with her twin blades in a fast 5-hit combo that feels incredibly smooth in combat. While the raw damages are solid, the real value comes from how frequently she can apply pressure and contribute to breaking enemy defenses throughout a fight. One of the passive upgrades tied to her basic attack is Light Prism, which increases Daffodil's break damage contribution by 20%. This might not sound flashy at first, but it plays a huge role in her overall identity. Daffodil is designed to tear through defensive mechanics, and this passive helps her accomplish that job much faster than many other characters. Her charged basic attack, Mirror on Water, adds even more mobility to her kit. By holding the attack button, Daffodil dashes forward and performs a powerful whirlwind slash that deals Chaos damage while leaving marks on enemies. This ability is great for closing gaps, repositioning during combat, and maintaining pressure against moving targets without slowing down her offensive rhythm. Daffodil also gains access to Displaced Edge, a special dodge mechanic that can be activated during her normal attack sequence. This grants temporary invincibility while allowing her to continue her combo afterward. Instead of constantly restarting attack chains after dodging, she can stay aggressive and keep building momentum, making her feel very fluid during longer encounters. When fighting airborne enemies or attacking from elevated positions, Crosshair Lock comes into play. This plunging attack deals Chaos damage in an area and becomes stronger the farther Daffodil falls before impact. At maximum height, the damage bonus can reach 100%, giving players another option for dealing burst damage while controlling groups of enemies. Her skill, Resonance, is one of the most important abilities in her kit. It damages the target while generating resonance stacks, and it becomes stronger whenever teammates use support skills. Both the damage and break potential of Resonance increase through these interactions, encouraging players to build teams that frequently rotate between characters. Once enough stacks have been accumulated, Resonance transforms into Echoes, a stronger version of the skill that unleashes a powerful Chaos attack using her rope-connected blade. Daffodil's ultimate ability, Finale, is where things really get exciting. Upon activation, she deals area of effect chaos damage and enters an empowered state by unsealing her left eye. During this period, nearby enemies receive the insight effect while Daffodil gains access to Phantom Step. This special movement ability can be used twice and provides additional offensive opportunities, making Finale both a damage tool and a major power spike during important moments in battle. Finally, her support skill, Crossed Blades, allows her to jump in and deliver a quick chaos attack even when she is off the field. Her support enhancements push her utility even further. Blade Draw, Discord. Enhancement can reduce an enemy's break cap by up to 30%, making defensive targets much easier to crack. Meanwhile, Cicada Shell boosts Phantom Step damage by 80%, giving her ultimate form significantly more offensive potential. Combined together, these abilities make Daffodil one of the strongest break-focused characters available in Neverness To Everness. When it comes to building Daffodil properly, her arc choices are actually a huge part of what makes her shine in Neverness To Everness. Her kit is heavily focused on break damage and chaos-based reactions, so the goal is always to push those strengths even further. The best gold arc for her is Youthful Fantasy, and it basically feels like it was designed with her in mind. It boosts break intensity by a massive amount and also creates synergy with support skills, which Daffodil naturally relies on in most team setups. What makes Youthful Fantasy even stronger is its reaction-based effects. It not only increases chaos damage against designated enemies, but also adds extra chaos damage whenever they take break damage. Since Daffodil is constantly helping trigger break states, this arc turns her into a consistent source of pressure that keeps stacking value throughout the fight. The more your team rotates support skills, the more dangerous she becomes. For a more accessible option, the best purple arc for Daffodil is Mind Royale. It is much simpler, but still very effective for her gameplay style. It helps with ultimate energy generation whenever she uses a redirect skill, which fits nicely with her fast-paced, combo-heavy playstyle. This means she can access her ultimate, Finale, more frequently, keeping her empowered state active more often during battles. When it comes to her console setup, Cartridge Diabolus is easily the strongest choice. The set boosts chaos damage, reduces enemy resistance, and becomes even stronger when she participates in key reactions like Scorch or Nova. Combined with her break-focused kit, this makes her damage output much more consistent and much harder for enemies to resist. For modules, focusing on break intensity, critical rate, and critical damage gives her the perfect balance between utility and raw damage scaling. When you start building teams around Daffodil in Neverness To Everness, the first thing you notice is that she is not a character you just slot anywhere. She really wants teammates who can constantly feed her elemental reactions and help her keep break pressure high. That is why her best overall team usually revolves around Baikang, Adler, and either Juyuan or Sakiri, depending on what you have available. This core setup is all about maintaining non-stop reaction chains, while Daffodil focuses on shredding enemy defenses. The strongest pairing by far is Daffodil with Baikang. These two work almost like a perfectly tuned combo engine. Baikang helps trigger the Scorch reaction when paired with Chaos and Incantation damage, and Daffodil benefits massively from that interaction. The result is a steady loop of reactions that keeps enemies under constant pressure while also opening them up for break damage. In practice, this duo feels like it never runs out of momentum once it gets going. Adler is another key piece in both premium and budget setups. He brings a mix of shielding, utility, and incantation-based damage over time effects that fit perfectly into Daffodil's reaction-focused gameplay. More importantly, he helps maintain Scorch uptime while also keeping the team stable during longer fights. In many ways, Adler acts like the glue that holds the team together, making sure Daffodil can stay aggressive without worrying about survivability. For the final slot in the best team setup, Juyuan is often chosen for his ability to apply hexed and support anima-based interactions. He adds another layer of status effects that further amplify reaction potential, which works perfectly with Daffodil's break-focused kit. However, if you prefer a slightly different playstyle, Sakiri is also a strong alternative, especially for triggering Discord reactions and adding more variety to your elemental rotations. If you are going for a free-to-play friendly version of the team, the structure stays surprisingly similar. Adler still remains a must-have because of his versatility, while Haniel joins in to apply stained reactions and keep elemental pressure consistent. This helps Daffodil stay effective even without premium units, since she still gets enough reaction triggers to maintain her damage output and break efficiency. To finish the free-to-play setup, Aurelia rounds out the team by adding additional elemental support and helping maintain reaction uptime. Even though this version does not hit quite as hard as the premium Baikang setup, it still keeps Daffodil in her ideal role as a break-focused damage enabler. The key idea in both versions is the same: keep reactions flowing, keep enemies broken, and let Daffodil do what she does best on the battlefield. When you look at Daffodil's awakening system in Neverness To Everness, it becomes really clear that her entire scaling is built around one idea. The more break and insight synergy she has, the more dangerous she becomes. Every awakening layer adds another piece to that puzzle, turning her from a strong break character into a complete battlefield controller who constantly amplifies team damage. Her Eye Awakening is one of the most important early upgrades because it directly boosts resonance damage by 100% and break by 250% per support skill cast. Since Daffodil naturally works in teams that frequently rotate support skills, this effect scales extremely fast in real combat. It essentially rewards you for playing her the way she is designed, which is constantly weaving in team abilities to keep pressure on enemies. Mechanical March adds a more utility-focused layer to her kit. It deals heavy damage, generates break, and even fully charges Finale if Phantom Step fails to parry at the right moment. This makes her much more forgiving in fast fights where timing can be inconsistent, while also ensuring that her ultimate is always cycling back into rotation. Assembly of Creation is where her control potential starts to shine. It prevents insight from being removed unless the enemy is defeated or leaves combat, and even allows stacking up to 2 layers. This means Daffodil can maintain long-term debuffs on targets, setting up consistent conditions for her break-focused effects to trigger repeatedly without losing momentum. Concealment takes advantage of this setup by increasing Daffodil's break damage whenever a target enters break under Insight. Each stack of Insight increases her break damage by 15%, which quickly turns into a massive multiplier in longer fights. This awakening rewards patience and proper setup, making her even more lethal against high health enemies. Perfect Truth builds on the same mechanic but pushes it further by adding extra instances of break damage whenever a target is broken while affected by Insight stacks. In practice, this turns Daffodil into a chain reaction engine where every successful break leads to even more damage output layered on top of itself. Bloom in the Lake provides a more straightforward but extremely valuable benefit by ignoring 15% of the target's defense. This is especially powerful in late game encounters where enemies naturally become tankier, giving Daffodil consistent scaling without relying only on reaction setups or stack management. Finally, her higher awakening milestones bring everything together. The third awakening increases the level of key skills like Still Waters and Resonance, improving her baseline performance across the board. At the 6th awakening, Sunlight and Sanctuary reduces enemy chaos resistance by 15% during break states, which perfectly complements her entire kit. At that point, Daffodil stops being just a break support character and becomes a core damage amplifier for any team she is part of. The video ends here. See you in another video. Don't forget to subscribe.